An iconic 80s show rebooted and reimagined for a new generation. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. We watched 2009's remake of V. Stay tuned to hear what we thought. Welcome back to Cheers and Jeers, where we review some of the best and worst of film and TV over recent years. Before we get started, please take a moment to smash that like button. It really does help. Subscribe and share this video if you like what you see. As we continue to try to grow this channel, your help makes a big difference. So, before we go on, a little warning, we might engage in some minor spoilers here and there, but these shows are several years old at least at this point, so it's all fair game. So consider yourself warned. V from 2009 on ABC that lasted 2 seasons with a grand total of 23 episodes, 12 in the first season, 10 in the second. It was filmed in Vancouver, despite being set in New York City. The stars of the show were the main lead, Morena Baccarin, as the villain Anna, the head of the aliens, and Elizabeth Mitchell as Erica Evans. The show is not a sequel to the 1980s V, it is a remake, not a shot-for-shot remake, but a reimagined version. So there's variations. It started out, I think, with a lot of potential. Of course, it had a lot of built-in excitement from the original. It tended to fizzle out over time. The story is a remake, not a sequel to the 1980s V. The original was, of course, a Nazi allegory, cautionary tale, and with a sci-fi twist to it. But that allegory about fascism rising was the essential core of the story, and unfortunately that has been downplayed, if not entirely removed, from the 2009 version, which kind of takes the heart out of the story. You've got a lot of the sci-fi aesthetic and window dressing without the moral to the story. It leaves you falling a little bit flat. It started out strong. It had a lot of potential, excitement that was pent up from fans of the original, obviously, but the story started to meander, and it started to go downhill pretty quickly. The first couple of episodes were good, as they did some world building and some introducing of characters, and to try to kind of gin up some of the faltering interest and viewership, they did bring back a couple of the fan favorite original characters, or at least actors from the 1980s version. Jane Badler reprised her role as the original villain Diana, in a slightly similar role this time around, and Mark Singer, who'd played Mike Donovan, was brought back in a new role just for the last 20 seconds of the final episode of the series. He was basically serving as a teaser for a season 3, which never occurred. That basically left us with a unresolved cliffhanger at the end of the show, which was not ideal, and kind of plays into my not liking the show or giving as high a rating as I otherwise might. I've got to give this one a Jeers. If you are interested in the story V, there was a perfectly good one made a few decades ago. You can go and watch the original 2 miniseries from the 80s. The short-lived series that followed it in the 80s is not so great, but the 2 miniseries named V and V: The Final Battle are definitely worth watching, and I would recommend those. But the 2009 series you can find on Vudu and on Amazon Prime streaming services. So check them out if you are interested, and let us know what you think. Did you agree with our opinions on this? Was there any details that we missed that you'd like to point out? If so, please leave them in the comments, and as always, please subscribe, like, and share to help out the channel. It really does make a big difference. and send us any recommendations you'd like to hear in the future from us. Until next time, keep cheering and jeering.